Jason, remember this?
I do remember this.
That's you and me on the chin ramp, double inverts, like search for Animal Chin. And that's me wearing the actual shirt from that original photo on Animal Chin.
It's so crazy.
And now we're selling these.
Yeah, and I'm here. I'm just a part of it.
So we signed 1,000 of these.
Yeah.
Well, I've signed most of them, and you have to sign them.
I'm going to do it right now.
So that by the time you were watching this, they will be available, ready to ship. Boom.
Yeah, I'd hurry up and get one, man. This is the greatest thing that I'll ever be a part of, ever. So.
I'm pretty hyped on this.
Yeah.
So they're at TonyHawk.com, I think. Yep. TonyHawk.com.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's a place. That's a good place.
All right. Keep searching. We're trying to ease you into the show here. Amelia, welcome to the show.
You got to know who you're dealing with.
But it was just his birthday.
Oh, happy
and
birthday.
I almost
Thank
sent
you.
this photo to him, but I thought it was kind of mean.
Aw.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like a celebratory photo.
It's triumphant now.
And we went to Vegas, and we had a giant party one night. We had the suite at the Hard Rock, and with the bowling alley. That night, he went dark, and this is how it ended for him. Behind the bar. So he was like...
Oh, that's behind the bar?
Yeah, that was behind the bar in the room.
I was in the middle of mixing a drink when
because he was trying to get more drinks, and we're like, I don't think you need more drinks. But after this, we were trying to wake him up, and then he was pushing us away, and then he grabbed all the cocktail napkins and put them on him as a blanket.
Oh, that's resourceful.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I was ready to be homeless, you know?
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk.
Okay, now we're done with now we've self-indulged. Amelia Brodka is here. And she's far more important than these ridiculous stories we're telling of drunken escapades.
Well, I actually also got my husband a fast car lap situation for his birthday once. Surprised him with that.
Yeah.
So I know
you're
that's
one of the good ones as well, huh? I've never met you guys before.
Oh,
you guys are great.
Her husband is
He's
a
awesome.
car fanatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, so I think his brain broke when he got to ride a Audi something fancy.
I love
fast
that you
car.
got in there and you have no idea. It's even better.
He was happy. It's all that matters.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like, because they do let you go. They let you.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, let it rip.
Open it up.
Yeah, like I was. He's like, you've driven a car before, like raced before. I was like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going.
So, Amelia, how are you?
You know, I'm good. We're in the thick of things, getting everything ready for the annual exposure event.
What number exposure is this?
This is the 13th annual.
13th.
13th.
Wow, congratulations.
It's
such a great event. And really, you started the whole thing. Like you and...
Me and Leslie Cohen. She's the co-founder of Exposure. And 13 years ago, there wasn't anything happening for women skateboarding, really, especially for transition skating, and then especially for vert. So it just felt like there was a void that needed to be filled, and I was seeing all this progression all around me, and I was skating with Lizzie Armanto a lot, and I'm like, how is nobody seeing this? How is no one paying attention to this? There's more and more girls and women skating at a higher level.
I was jaded because I got to see it here almost every day.
That's a really good
What are
point.
you talking about? Girls skate vert. They're right here.
I don't know what the big deal. Like that's like I know more. Yeah, they're great. Like we're at the hub, just
though.
catching on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that the day I came back to his ramp. I was like, whoa, chicks got gnarly. They're all little.
That's a little demeaning. Chicks got gnarly.
Look, I'm a Neanderthal.
Okay.
If you read between the lines, it was heartfelt.
We're trying to talk about women's empowerment and equality, and you're like, chicks got gnarly, and then
in
it's
the
just
90s,
like, what happened?
Okay. In the 90s, there wasn't a lot of female skateboarders that were that good. Now, there are hundreds of them that are blowing my mind that can do stuff that I could never do that.
Good save.
You can edit the other bit out if you want to, but I don't care. I'm dumb. I don't have an education, all right? Get butthurt. See if I care. Fight me. I don't care anymore.
We're leaving it in.
So
I
essentially,
like you. You're good.
thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, there just needed to be a platform. So we started with an annual event and happened at the Claremont Skate Park, and that event was the first ever McTwist performed at a women's competition by Alana Smith, and that kind of made us also realize, like, if you create the opportunities, like the progression and the support will happen. So we just, year after year kept doing it. And it was kind of the only event, especially in transition for a while. And then once things kind of started evolving and people started seeing all these girls and women skating at this higher level, they all started getting more support, and like watching you give Lizzie Armanto a pro model board, and then watching girls like Nora get supported to like do video parts, because it seemed like before that competition was the only avenue and there weren't any. So that's kind of long story short of how it started. And
it's a destination event, though. I mean, it really is an international collection of girls, and they're so. I can tell that's the place to go. Like I can feel it when it's in town. It's like, wait, the girl from Japan, the one from Germany. They're all here for exposure.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming and letting us use your ramp so many times. That was awesome. Because I've had people, like, each year I stress about the actual vert contest and whether it's going to happen. And I'm like, if there's no vert contest, like, what's the point? I mean, we have street, we have bowl, but it's like, and this is all the progression's happening on vert.
It's happening at Poods again.
It's happening at Poods soon. November 2nd and 3rd.
November 2nd and 3rd, Encinitas Community Park.
That's right.
AKA Poods. Exposure skate. All the best women, transition skaters, street skate. It's going to be, I bet this is going to be the biggest one. There's so much momentum right now.
It does feel like there's a lot of momentum, which is super exciting. It also puts the pressure on our teeny tiny team for this to be the best one ever. But, in terms of like the talent that's coming, I've seen this like 9-year-old girl from Thailand sign up who she's doing like kickflip, backflip, shove out. And we haven't seen her at a lot of other major events. Arissa True's coming. So the transition field will be stacked as well. She's all right. Yeah. So it's just been incredible to see it grow.
And is it free to spectators?
Yes. It's free to attend. And November 2nd, 3rd, just show up, come watch. Each day has
attend and describe. It's a new one.
That's a good one.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Don't get too pumped on yourself, Bird, mate.
Yeah. So, Amelia, how did you get into skating? I know that you are from Poland. Like,
wait,
you were born in Poland?
Yeah, I was
what
born
happened to
in
the
Lisbon.
accent?
We moved
You don't
here.
seem very Polish right now.
I'm
not
so
sensing a Polish vibe at all.
Okay.
Bust out some Polish real quick.
Co chcesz, żebym powiedziała?
Nice.
Ooh.
Did you say I'm looking pretty strong and handsome?
Tak.
I agree. I've been working out. I did push-ups in the street course because I haven't had time to work out, but I just get the hustle.
We're trying to, like,
Yeah, we'll go back to me from time to time. I'm on the couch too. I'm allowed to exist for a few seconds.
I want to know what
back
you actually...
You're Polish.
I want to know
I'm jacked, and you're Polish, and he's old.
You
Deal
are
with
jacked.
it.
You are jacked.
Thank you. It's all I'm asking
in the Jeremy
for.
Klein sense of jacked.
Jesus.
It's a different meaning.
I can't even
Will you cut his mic?
whisper anything. I can't even exist anymore.
Amelia,
God.
what did you say?
I just said, what do you want me to say?
See.
Sorry, I really should have said something more
No, you
clever,
didn't.
but
No, you didn't.
you'll never
okay.
know.
It's okay.
You'll never know. Yeah,
Right.
but it's kind of wild. My dad entered a lottery as a joke with his buddies to get a visa to come to the States. And he like heard on the radio that he won.
As a joke.
As a joke, like with his college friends. Oh yeah, we're going to go to America, you know?
But did he actually aspire to live here?
It's
It just seemed like it was such a rare thing. He didn't even really think it was real.
It doesn't seem real. Like when you're there, especially like coming out of communist times, and the ability to travel places, especially here, is so limited. Just being able to get a visa is so hard. And so it just seems like, everyone thinks about America, or at least when I go back there, that's my perception of it. And we all like live in LA with all the movie stars.
Right.
Like that's what the United States is to just the people back home.
But did your dad consider not moving, even though he wanted, because it was a joke?
Well, he came over here, and he was on the East Coast, and he then applied for my mom to come visit. And basically, my mom tells the story of they went to Disney World, and me and my brothers are home in Poland with my grandmother. And my mom got so sad because she was like, she thought about this sad, like rusty old carnival that comes to like our village in Poland every year.
Wow.
And she's in Disney World, and she's like, I can't live with myself thinking my kids can't experience this. So I thought we were coming here for summer vacation. And,
How old were you?
I was 7. They were like, yeah, we're going to...
See, I mean, you were self-aware. Like it was...
I mean, I remember thinking that we're coming here for summer vacation, but yeah.
So that was what she told you, or did you guys really think you're only coming here for summer?
No, that is legitimately what she told me, and I completely hated it at first because I didn't speak English. I had no friends. Like, I couldn't go walk around the neighborhood, and it was like in of a rough part of Jersey.
That's traumatic.
So, I'm here now, so
yeah. No, I'm just saying that for a 7-year-old.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, by the way, it's not vacation. We're here.
Yeah, because then I was like,
you can check
all
out
right,
anytime you want, but you can never leave.
Yeah, and I really actually wanted to go home. I was like, hey, like, we're going to start school soon. Like, when are we going home? And then they were like, we thought you'd just, like, try school here. And I still didn't know English. And I remember being in the first day of school, and, like, all the parents are there. And my English was, like, just based on what I saw on TV over the summer. And essentially, the teacher was walking around asking everybody the same question, like whether they were buying lunch or whether they brought it from home. And she phrased it the same way every time. I was like, okay, I think I know what's happening. I brought a lunch. I'm going to say from home. And she like came up to me and she changed the question.
Oh.
She was probably something like, oh, did you bring a lunch, honey? And I was just like, from home? And everyone starts laughing, and like my mom's laughing. It's like my first day of school. I'm like, dude, I knew the answer to your question, but you tricked me. So like that was my first experience of having to like be immersed here. So
how do you go from there to trying or finding skating?
Well, you just landed the 900. It was everywhere. The video game was out. And so I was seeing it a lot in my periphery. This was a few years later. And I remembered at some point my brothers like laughed at me because I didn't know how to stand up and ride a skateboard. And then I just thought like, well, I'm going to learn how to do it properly. And the X Games came...
To spite them?
To spite them, exactly.
That's so great.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had 2 older brothers, and when you have older brothers, they wanted to learn. And then to top it all off, the X Games came to Philadelphia, and my parents and I drove out there, and we were wandering around the arena, and off in the corner, we realized there was like a women's vert demo going on. No one was announcing it. It wasn't on the schedule, but it was happening. And as I got closer, I saw Lindsay Adams Hawkins, I saw Cara Beth Burnside, I saw Mimi Knoop, and I was just...
Jen O'Brien.
Yep. She was definitely there as well. And it just felt like my brain like opened up to the possibilities of like, I want to do that. I want to be just amazing. Like that.
But you were already skating a little bit.
I had dabbled. I had dabbled.
You could stand up on one.
I could stand up on one, exactly. My friends taught me how to go down the driveway. And they also bought Tony Hawk's Trick Tips Volume 1. So we were trying to figure that out.
Don't.
He's a really good teacher.
Oh, wow. Hey, do you remember the scandal of the doubles, Jason? Do you remember the scandal?
Do you want me to talk?
Oh, come on. Do you remember the scandal of the doubles? I think it was there. Was there doubles at that event?
Yes.
Or was the one before?
Bob. I got your autograph.
Why?
Because you're
Man,
chasing Ellis.
you were desperate. What scandal?
It was on my. It was on
Let's
my.
not talk
bedroom
about
wall,
me. Let's get
Ellis.
back.
Bob
over
wanted
here.
to skate with Jen.
Who
and Bob wanted to skate with Jen in doubles.
Wait, and they wouldn't let her.
And they said, "Well, she's not an actual X Games entrant." And like, well, that's because you didn't have a women's vert event.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
And
But they said no.
they said came down to this. It was ugly.
Yeah, because
I remember because people were just like, "What? Like, just let him. Who cares?"
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, like this isn't the Olympics. Like this is. What are the rules?
Yeah.
They go, "Well, she's not officially entered in the contest." Like, well, because you guys don't have a women's vert, but she's here for the demo.
Yeah.
So let her
Yeah,
do the thing.
even
And
the
they go,
demo is a
okay,
pretty good
they
argument.
can skate, but their score won't count.
Wait, what?
That's what they said.
Yeah. So they did. I don't think it was that. It wasn't Philly. It must have been one before. It must have been like San Francisco or something.
That's
but
crazy.
it was crazy. Yeah. And now a word from our sponsors. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. October is the season for wearing masks and costumes, right?
Is it?
It's Halloween.
Oh.
You live in America now.
America.
We do Halloween, yes. But some of us feel like we wear a mask and hide more often than we want to at work, in social settings, around our family. And therapy can help you to learn to accept all parts of yourself so you can take off the mask. The metaphorical mask.
Right. Like
We still want to wear masks for Halloween. I benefited from therapy.
Have you?
Yes, to keep my boundaries in place and to learn to prioritize my time. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the tip of the iceberg. But yes, absolutely.
But I understand because I see what you do and well played.
I'm better for it, for
Yep,
sure.
you are.
So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Take off the mask with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/hawkwolf today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hawkwolf. This podcast is sponsored by Orgain. They got protein, son. Stay jacked. I'm always looking for nutritious options to add to my routine. Luckily, there is one that tastes amazing and isn't super expensive. Luckily, there's Orgain. Orgain tastes good, man. I've had every protein under the sun, and I'm picky. And I'm one of those people that I drink protein all day, like 3 times a day. So if it tastes jank, I don't want it, and I'm not doing it. This stuff works and it tastes good. Orgain is the leader in real protein-powered nutrition that understands that being good for you doesn't have to taste bad. Orgain's brand new 30-gram complete protein shakes offers protein-packed real nutrition designed to satisfy your cravings without all the sugar. Whenever I'm done working out, I enjoy some Orgain protein. Orgain 30-gram protein shakes are available at Costco and Orgain.com. If you want to get in on the delicious protein-packed nutrition today, head to Orgain.com/HW20 and use the code HW20 for 20% off your order. Once again, that's Orgain.com/HW20 for 20% off. And make sure you use the promo code HW20 so that they know I sent you. Back to the show.
Yeah, they
Oh my God.
whatever.
We've come a long way.
Pick your battles. Yeah, I mean, look, it's new ownership.
I was gonna say-
I'm part of that crew.
I was gonna
that's
say-
not happening anymore. But it was weird.
People
Weird
that
times.
owned it then didn't skate, and I can say it now, they didn't like it. Like some of the people that were in charge of it didn't like skateboarding. I heard them. I heard them disrespecting people that are in it, like Bob. Like, you think that guy's an actual athlete? And I was like, do you think you have a brain that works correctly? You dumbass. Like, is Bob Bergquist an athlete? Shut the fuck up, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, is he an athlete? Like, he's one of the greatest athletes that's ever lived. But you wouldn't know that, even though you're in charge of skateboarding, exposing it to the people, the masses on television. You're like, well, what does he really do? What does he really do? Everything. He's pretty much done everything. Derek Jeter's an athlete. I remember that argument. I was like, that dude's a douche. Stick on a ball. Fart off.
But that was a big thing like that, and that was behind the scenes, and
That's crazy.
Yeah, it
I
was
never
crazy.
heard about that. But
I
How
think
do you
that
think
was
they would have done?
that was the same event. Okay, I mean, no one had anything together. So I think it was one of the first ones. Andy and I were the only ones that actually had like a real routine that we worked on. And then the funniest was, I think it was it Crumb and Tom Boyle?
Yeah.
And then Tom Boyle fell.
Yeah.
And so then he would just stand in Mike's way.
That's pretty
and
funny.
Dodge him in the flat bottom like a matador.
That's awesome.
Oh my
Which
God.
I thought was pretty sick. Like,
Wow.
yeah, way to make, turn lemons into lemonade.
I did doubles with Sergi. And
That's awesome.
We sucked.
Yeah, no one was synced up. No one was,
we had
everyone
one trick that
one
was
trick,
cool,
right, yeah.
and then the rest was just like, you go that way, I'll go that way. And I'm like, oh. And I remember you and Andy, I was like, man, they got a game plan. That's pretty good, because it was like Sergio and I were like, we got half an hour to arrange doubles, because it was like, you want to be in doubles? Yeah, I'll be in doubles with you.
Yeah.
It's like, here's one thing we can do, and he's like, what about the rest? Let's just go over each other. And I'm like, easier like said than done, because we were not synced. We were like gonna hit each other.
Well, the good thing about Sergi is he'll always get over you.
Yeah.
Whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah, but he was also not like that.
You didn't have a plan.
Yeah. Sometimes I was like, that's not gonna work.
That was so fun to watch, though. I remember like the Bucky and Bob versus Tony and Andy.
Yeah.
The whole.
They were gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, y'all had it dialed.
They were so gnarly.
It was so fun to watch.
On that particular event, Philly, we had just come off of Huck Jam. So both Andy and I and Bob and Bucky were just using the routines we had created for Huck Jam. So we were already just, firing it off.
That's awesome.
But that's really interesting because it's so, it just shows how one spark that you went to that demo that was kind of buried in the programming or in the schedule, and you found your way to it, and here you are, an ambassador to women's skateboarding, largely because of that.
Yeah, I definitely am just so grateful to those women for paving the way. It sounds like it was a battle just to be there. And then, Jen was just trying to skate with Bob. That's so wild to even hear about. It's
just to have a women's event of any kind was a battle.
It's so unfortunate. It was definitely. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful to all the ones that came before me, because they had a lot more of an uphill battle to fight just to have space on the ramp in an event, have an event.
At what point did you, it's tricky probably because you're a professional level skater. At what point did you realize, I can be a force for good of something more overall? I
guess it happened in college. I was skating with Lizzie quite a bit, and we were shooting photos with this photographer, Julian Bleeker, who was like, I believe in women's skateboarding, and I'm going to make a book. And he was just so supportive. And one day he was just like, someone should make a documentary about this. I'm like, yeah, someone should. And then he just goes, why don't you do it? And at the time I was in college in USC, and I had no idea how to use a camera, how to edit, how to do any of it. But I started realizing that it was something that could get the message out, that could show that there is this growth in women's skateboarding, especially at a time when like X Games just canceled women's vert, which was, it seemed like the only thing to strive for if you were a woman who skated vert or transition of any kind. And I realized that I could actually get college credits to be filming at the skate park with Lizzie, interviewing people about skateboarding.
Oh, that's great.
About women's skateboarding. And that I can use it as like my senior thesis project. So I was able to borrow cameras from the college. I was able to use the editing studio and just kind of figured it out as I went in a weird way. And I finished it by the time I graduated. And it, in a crazy turn of events, it actually went on to some film festivals and stuff. It's called Underexposed. But as soon as that was finished, I was like, wow, I just spent years on this documentary where I'm just complaining that there aren't any women's events. Maybe I should make a women's event, because I just feel like that's not really doing anything. It's just a bunch of complaining. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess,
what was it like trying to put together the first one?
Well, I didn't really believe people, and they were like, oh, are you sure? Events are kind of hard. I'm like, what's so hard? You get some judges, you get everyone skating, and you call it a day. And just the first one didn't have as many like complicated layers to it. But I remember like the day of the event, like Dave Duncan's there and he's like, "What's the format?" And I'm like, "Oh shoot, like I didn't really think this through." Like we just kind of, I want to say we winged it, but it still went really well. Like having Alana do a McTwist right in front of Mike McGill, and then all this kind of support emerging after the event was really special. So realizing that there was a need and that we were filling it kind of also inspired me and the co-founder Leslie Cohen to turn it into a nonprofit. So we do year-round programming. We do skate rising for young girls, teaching them to skate and give back to the community. We have adult women's programs called Seshi. We work with Woodward to implement programming at camps. And then we do our major annual event. And it just feels like it gets harder every year, even though you think we'd have it dialed.
Has that become your job?
Yeah.
Why does it get harder?
It's hard to find the funding every year. So a lot of the year we work on just trying to get sponsorships for it.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of grant writing as well.
What's grant writing?
So basically, when you're a nonprofit, there is a lot of support out in the universe, whether it's the County of San Diego, the City of Encinitas, or even federal grants. There's a lot of different pockets of support out there, but you have to spend a ton of time like researching and finding grants that fit what you're looking for money for.
Okay.
And then hours and hours of just writing and submitting.
We used to have someone
paperwork
solely dedicated to that at Tony Hawk Foundation.
Because it's
Writing grants and requesting funding from other big nonprofits.
It's awful.
It's got to be hard because the skateboard industry is like so spread out that there's nobody that really has a bunch of money to help. It's like just a bunch of little people all just trying to survive. And it's like, I'm sure a lot of like, you know, I got a little bit of a skateboard thing. I don't have any money to help anybody, you know, like I get you a board. Is that good? Like, and I feel like a lot of the industry is in a similar situation where it's like, we would love to help, but we're like, everyone's kind of like just trying to stay afloat themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a weird thing because it's so big. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, you know, like motocross, it's like the moto world, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of pros, but just everybody, the industries have a lot of money.
Right.
Like they just sort of, you know, like there's podcasts that are just moto orientated and they might not even do that bigger numbers. They have tons of money coming in because all the moto industry is like, yeah, well, how much do you need? It's like, it's not like they're like independent trucks.
But if you're doing a skate event, you have to go, endemic sponsors don't
What's
have money.
endemic
No.
mean?
Like skate industry, skate specific, skate companies can give product for the most part, right?
Right.
And the only time you're going to get money is from maybe apparel or footwear
Because they're bigger, right?
because they're bigger, yeah.
Right.
And they want to title sponsor stuff. I might be speaking for you, but that's
No,
been my
I mean,
experience.
you know how it is. You know, you've put on events yourself as well.
Sucks.
It's the worst. Like when you arrive on the day of and you see all these vendors set up, there's a vert ramp, like people are having fun, like all these individuals from all over the planet are there, like sharing their love for skateboarding with each other, cheering each other on. Like the moment they show up, it's totally worth it. And there's just so much like love and passion and camaraderie and progression. But yeah, the journey up to it is always like, it's so many variables putting on an event and they don't stop changing and rearranging themselves until it's over. So you think you've done a task and then they're like, oh, sorry, actually I can't have a booth. And then you redo the map or whatever it is. It's just, it's a
When we do
hassle.
Vert Alert, leading up to it, I mean, there's roughly 8 people upstairs. That's all they're doing is working on that event. And it doesn't make money. It's just for us to advocate for vert skating and give it a platform. I mean, it's my passion project, and I'm thankful that they know that and they accept that. But it's just that it's like we want these events to happen to help highlight women's skating, highlight vert skating, but there's no money in it.
How, like, what would it take to change that?
A huge title sponsor.
I guess I'm asking, what would it take for the skateboard industry to, like the core skateboard industry, to have the wealth to support the communities?
It's just so diluted. It's so splintered.
That's what
Yeah.
it is, right?
Yeah.
So is it more that the skate shops buy everybody's stuff, and if
there's not as much brand loyalty as there used to be. It used to be you rode Powell or Vision,
right,
or Santa Cruz,
now it's just like there's hundreds of
and
skateboard
or 8th Street or World, and now and there's definitely some favorites,
yeah,
but they're not of that level like it used to be.
like even the favorites aren't doing.
They do well, but they're not able to come in and underwrite an event.
Right, because it just seems like, I mean, obviously, if you've got an energy drink company, that seems to work pretty good.
But you every once in a while you get a car manufacturer.
Haven't gotten that one yet,
I'm
but
just saying, like,
that
every
would be
once in a while
great.
something will hit, and it's like, oh, we have this. Like, let's go. We got it one time.
Well, this year Red Bull is actually coming in to produce a proper live stream, which we've had live stream-ish situations before, but now to have an actual broadcast partner with
great.
Red Bull, and it'll be
Yeah.
streaming on X Games YouTube. So we're super excited about that.
That's a huge step forward.
It's a big step
Yeah,
forward. It
congrats.
took 13 years to get here, but
so cool.
really excited about that. So maybe that will help make next year's easier, because it's kind of been like, well, if you don't come, you don't know, you see a recap video, but I just hope that it can kind of capture the vibe and the
Yeah.
camaraderie and the just what we're trying to build.
I'm sure it will. I mean, that's what our event, especially the Legends demo the night before, it's broadcast live on X Games YouTube, and that brings a lot of attention. And then
That's awesome.
the events the next day go off. And now a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, baby. Hawk versus Wolf Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a place to get real money from real sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 300 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. I use Prize Picks. I only know like a few athletes because I follow skateboarding. You can't bet on that. Maybe you can. I don't think you can. But I was like, yeah, I don't think LeBron James is that good. And I win! Download the app today and use the code HAWKWOLF to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's HAWKWOLF and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Back to the show.
Yeah, Vert Alert is such a rad event. Thanks for doing that.
It's one of my greatest pleasures. Thank you. It gives me a lot of anxiety, and it's pretty much my only demo outlet these days. So I put more pressure on myself. So it tortures my wife, but it's fun.
Yeah, I can't skate in exposure anymore. I like, you said it gives you anxiety. It's like making an event. The layers of anxiety are so intense. The last time
That wouldn't be a release though, to go get on the ramp.
Well, yes, getting on the ramp was great, but then the bowl contest right afterwards is like at the very end of the whole like 3-day event. And I was going to drop out one year because I was crashed out. It was, it had been months of work leading to that, and then competing in vert and then going over the bowl. I had this crazy fall where like I broke 7 bones in my foot and tore a ligament. It's like the end of the day, and I'm like just trying not to lose
At exposure?
it. Yeah, it was such a bummer. Nobody knew though, because I crawled out of the bowl and then I went to the hospital after that, but missed the after party.
Wait, you did that in the Clover Bowl at Poods?
Yeah, I was so
And
dumb.
then how did you get out?
I had some friends there. they helped get me out,
my
which was good.
Dude, that's
But
rough.
yeah, so the fact that you have that as a demo outlet, but you also have all the pressure and the
Oh, yeah.
layers of the event planning. It's a lot, to put that aside
exhausting.
and just be able to focus on
Yeah.
skating.
There is something about events, the stress, like versus being in a demo or a contest, where it's like if you came prepared at a contest or at a demo, it is what it is. If you fall, that's bad. But you came prepared, you came ready. But when you do an event, because I do events too, there's something about it where it's like, how many tickets have we sold? And it's like, we're not sold out yet. And I'm like, oh, I have a weird sick feeling in my stomach. Like, because I've done Ellismania, I did it for like 20 years, and every year, everyone's like, oh, I can't wait. And I'm like, cool. And everyone's like, I can't wait. And I'm like, well, obviously, everybody that's saying they can't wait, they waited.
Yeah.
They really
They
waited.
can wait.
And apparently
They do wait.
Apparently
The
they're
worst.
lying about how they can't wait because it's not sold out.
They'd
And
rather wait.
Yeah.
because I've fought
Okay.
in the event, and it's like, how many tickets? And my manager's like, we're almost sold out, and it's like the day before, and I'm like, it's not sold out. No, almost sold. I'm like, that's not right. Like, if it sells out, then next year everyone's happy, and then I get to stress it all over again because that's the other thing. It will sell out, and then next year it's like it didn't even happen. It's back to how many days, how many. Okay, and then like if it does sell out, it's not the same as if you do good in a contest. It's like you did good, and you feel good about it. And then I don't know what it is, but it's like I don't immediately jump to next year or next contest, will I do good? But with an event, if you do good, you're straight away I go, okay, well, next year, how am I going to make that work again? Because everyone expects me to do it again.
Yeah.
And it's always this hype.
Yeah.
Everyone around you is like, yeah. And you're like, get your parents to buy a ticket as well or something. Like, come on, everybody.
How do you
Dude,
gauge the
exactly.
success of exposure?
I like seeing a lot of skaters in all the disciplines. So typically we have
So amount of entrance.
amount of entrance, and like for me personally, just seeing any progression. So last year seeing Kihana do a backtail shove, which we've not seen in this
Yeah.
community before on vert. That was super sick. So seeing entrance from a diverse, area, so sometimes we have like 15 different countries attend, and making sure that each discipline is well attended. But I mean, honestly, having people just buy booth space, which is, very affordable, but like builds out the field, creates the whole atmosphere, and then having as many attendees as we can. So we definitely gauge success in all those different ways. So we love for people to be on site, and this year we'll have the new metric of the live stream, which will be on November 3rd when all the pro level events are happening. But yeah, I just want to get everybody out there, whether they're skating, whether they're watching. We even have learn to skate clinics or they're vendors. So just like to get everyone together.
Well, congrats on it. I love what you're doing, and I think that you you were the right person at the right time for all that. And
A lot of
probably
support,
you didn't. I don't think you realized the weight of all of it that you were carrying when you did it. Because there were pockets of support and little events and stuff, but you really became this beacon for the movement, for women's skateboarding. So skateboarding is lucky to have you. How did you meet your husband?
Skateboarding. We met
Skateboarding.
at the Combi Bowl. First off, thank you. That really means a lot. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
We do our best. But I met Alec at the Combi Bowl. I used to love
Oh, it
skating
wasn't
the
my
combi
story.
contests. Wasn't
I
your
had
story?
the story about how you met.
Oh,
Never
I'm
mind.
sorry.
No, I'm just
you
kidding.
should tell the story about my husband and I met.
I made up a story of how they met at their wedding
It's great.
Oh, yeah?
Go ahead.
because I had to do a little speech at their
Yeah.
wedding.
We actually really wanted Tony to marry us, but my parents weren't. They were.
Wait, I didn't
They
know
were
that.
a lot more. Oh,
Wait,
you
they
didn't know?
said no?
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, they're gonna listen to
Do
this,
they
so
not
I'm sorry, mom and dad.
understand the magnitude of
Oh, we do.
Why
The
did I
bird
get-
mate
why did I
marrying
get
you?
shut
But they
down?
went like this. They went, "Is he God to you?" And we were like,
What?
We shouldn't answer this question.
Yes. Yes, he is.
We should not answer this question. They wanted.
But who is like a preacher is?
Well, you
Good
know,
argument, Tony Hawk.
Thank you.
Solid argument. Preacher or the greatest skateboarder that ever lived?
I know.
What are we talking
I
about?
know. That's
That's
what
a
I'm
lofty
saying.
idea. Is he
Is he the
whoever it
greatest
is God to
preacher
you?
that has ever lived?
Well, the thing is,
No.
Probably not. Like, what ranking is he in the
Yeah.
preacher game?
Yeah.
Like, not even top 10, I bet. We're talking about numero uno.
Is he the Pope?
Right, because this is the Pope of skateboarding.
I know.
This is a lot more
I'm getting
open-minded.
myself in a
we
the
were
worst
so
situation.
we were like really nervous to ask Tony, but we were like, this is right.
You
Tony
should
should
be.
marry us,
That's
and
a
he
big
said
ask.
yes. He said that was like the bigger part of the
Yeah.
proposal. Alec knew I was going to say yes to him, but whether Tony would say yes to marrying us, that was a big.
Oh, it was
that
the
was a
same
big
day as
ask.
one of our kids' graduations too.
Oh my gosh,
It got tricky.
But then my
Super
my
dad
parents,
always.
you
Yeah.
know, I didn't want to. They just seemed as though we had wronged the Polish
not-
culture,
and
the
no way
Catholic
would I have followed
faith.
through with that.
Like it was a whole. It
I'm
was
not
a,
going to defy your parents.
yeah.
That's not going to
I
happen.
mean,
You should have.
I love my. They gave up everything to come to the U.S. for us. You know, they started over with 3
He
kids.
accidentally won a pass. Relax.
They gave us life though. Like that's kind of a big
Oh, yeah,
deal.
that was pretty cool. Okay,
So
yeah,
when
my
your
bad.
parents seem
Tony
like
Hawk
they're going
gave you life
to
as well.
disown you,
He gave us all life.
that's true, man.
You think about how
Stop.
inspirational it is for you and what you do for female skateboarding, and that you say that when you got into skateboarding, you saw Tony do the 900. Like, there's all these little things that people did that you didn't know. Like, you dug deep. You know what I mean? Like, you
Don't
did
forget
it.
about the trick tip video. He's a really good teacher.
I don't want to. I am forgetting about that because who's learning anything from that?
Boom!
There's like 3 people that learned one trick from it. Yeah, God, shut up, dude.
Wow!
You know what? I don't want to pay. I was gonna say what a crazy. I was gonna give him a crazy compliment, but no, shut up. You know, here's my crazy compliment. Shut up, Tony Hawk. Unbelievable. No, I'll do it. So you, like the people that inspired you. It goes all the way. Like there's people like even I did stuff. I came to America and did stuff, and I went back to Australia, and people were like, "Nah, you could do that." I inspired a little group of people in my little island. And then some of those people got to skate around the world and have like this crazy life. He is in charge of like this giant effect where there was so many people that will never like get to. I remember his 50th birthday. Everybody that came up on stage to talk about him for his birthday were like how much he helped me and inspired me. And it's like, and we're talking about giant like Costins and Rodney Mullins and all these people where you're like, how many people did they inspire? You know, like the trickle effect. He is like like if you do the thing where people inspire people, his is just fucking out of control.
I know.
Like it motivated so many people to do stuff. Like he inspired me when he broke his leg again. Like I don't know how many times he's inspired me, but I'm old. And I'm like, man, I don't really care anymore. And I'm like, God damn, he might be the toughest dude I've ever seen in my life. And I know UFC fighters. He's way tougher than them. And it made me like, get up, you fat prick. You know what I mean? Like, get going. Because he's not going to give up. You're like Rocky Balboa, you know, Mick. You're like Mickey. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because Mickey's there,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one more round. Yeah.
But then he's still opening doors for people.
I like
You know,
that- I like
creating
that
so
analogy.
many opportunities.
I want to be that dude.
You are that dude.
That's way more fun.
You are that dude to
Yeah.
me,
And
man.
you're punching meat in the meat locker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about everything I do. Where I just picture Tony Hawk going, come on. Because Tony
Thank
loves
you.
you.
But
you know?
Amelia, I think, unlocked a different level of advocacy and empowerment for women skating.
Yeah, because what
So
you don't
I
know
appreciate that.
is in the future, women's skateboarding will be like there will be a lot of women that make a lot of money out of skateboarding. They will have careers because of people like you that have made these things like you've opened the door for things.
You know, whether you know it or not, you're a reason that skating's in the Olympics and women are celebrated in the Olympics.
Yep.
You are. Like 13 years ago, you started a women's event, and that was the road to parity. That was the road to equality, and that's what was necessary to be in the Olympics, is that they had to see that skateboarding was doing events with both genders, and that's how it had to be. So thank you for that.
Yeah, like when they were in contests in the 80s, they had contests in people's backyards.
That's pretty badass.
You know, and like to us, you know, to me, it was that I wasn't in the backyard, but I thought it was this giant contest that the whole world knew about, you know, but it was just like Atlantis or something like that. And but to me, I was like, everybody was there, you know, and then I think that the contest in Australia, everyone should be there. And like, we're all enthusiastic about showing up because we watched this one video that his boss made where all these dickheads were there and it seemed like pretty serious. And then 20 years down the line, you know, there's a contest where Sean Penn's in the audience, you know, because everyone's there watching this giant contest and then it grows again and again and again, where now it's like saying, you know, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to, it's like, what do you do for a living? I'm a pro skateboarder. Wait, that's a job? And now, if you say it, nobody says that. Everybody knows it's a job. And that's how it's going to go for you. Like, you might not know right now, but in 20 years from now, female skateboarding will just be like, it's a giant thing that people can...
It's just a choice they make, like they choose to play soccer.
You can play tennis, you can be an accountant, you can be a pro skateboarder. Like, that's your living. Like, you get to do it. And then they further it on. And then the difference is, I'm not saying there isn't an immense amount of joy from being an accountant. I'm just not a counting guy, so I don't see it. But I'm sure there is. But the joy that you can get from skateboarding, even if it isn't money and all the bullshit pats on the back, just being a skateboarder and living your life as a skateboarder. I mean, I've filled some different shoes in my life. It's pretty hard to match. It's pretty cool.
It's the best.
You got to get on the. Do you ever look at Reddit?
Hell no.
There's a group on Reddit called Old Skaters.
Aww.
And they're
It's
nice.
so sick.
That sounds wholesome.
Yeah, they're all hyped for each other.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
not the Reddit I saw.
Like I saw one recently, a guy did like a boneless sweeper type of thing, and then spun around on his tail on a little tiny ramp.
Yeah,
He spun
yeah.
around his tail, went back in, you know, and just the comments like, "That's so sick, dude! Hell yeah!" You know, and it'll be just like 41-year-old.
Yeah.
That made like his 6 months that he just got so much confidence from not only doing that trick, but from getting the support, you know,
Yeah, it's
from
so-
a bunch of
I
people
just
on the
lurk
internet.
on it.
It's awesome.
But I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful to see the community just become more inclusive because, as we know, like skateboarding hasn't always been that way, and now
we
there's so
talked
many.
about that ad nauseum with Nora.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of like really great pockets for people to just do it their own ways too. And like you said, skaters who are older, just being really supported, getting back into it. So, and it's been incredible to see the growth on the women's side. It's like, you know, these girls like Reese, she was just automatically born into a world where there were events for women and girls. And I feel like that makes such a difference into how you approach it when you
she
start.
didn't have to fight.
Yeah, she didn't have to
for
go,
acceptance.
Can I be here, you guys?
She
Is
came
this
here and was
okay?"
like, "Oh, she's better than all of us."
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been really beautiful to watch.
It's so cool.
It's been really, really inspiring. And I'm just so proud of these girls, you know?
Yeah.
They're crushing it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're lucky to have you. Do you want to hear the fake story I made up about how they met?
Yeah.
So I said that they were both maybe traveling somewhere, and they saw each other like in the terminal. Each had a skateboard, and we're just like, "Oh, what's up? You skate? Yeah. You skate? Yeah." And then Alec is like, "Well, what's your favorite trick?" And she says, "Stale fish." And he's like, "Stale fish?" It's like, "It's mine too." And then she's like, "You know, Tony Hawk made up Stale fish." And he's like, "I do. I've met him." She's like, "I've met him too." And then their eyes met and they fell in love.
You should
And
write a
then-
rom-com, dude.
That was it.
Then we showed each other pictures that we took with you when
Yeah, like
we
that-
were
that
like
was it.
11.
It was all because
this
of
is
me.
my picture
Yeah.
with Tony Hawk. This is my picture with Tony
was
Hawk. Yeah.
That's not true though. Well, how did you meet?
It's kind of right.
Wow.
But they do both have a mean stale fish. So
We met at the combi.
doing stale fishes.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
actually, at the time, Alec claimed he could not do stale fish, but maybe he was just saying that because he can actually just do every trick he tries. He's kind of insane.
Some amazing tricks.
He does. But I was doing stale fishes. So your story is maybe a little true.
Okay.
We were skating the combi, and our eyes met across the shallow end. And there were only a few of us. It's true. You laugh, but it's so true.
I'm still gonna laugh.
And
Do you remember that moment?
I do remember
That's
the
pretty
moment
cool.
because I had my headphones in because when I started skating, I would usually get like mocked out of the skate park. So I just got used to skating with headphones to block out all the haters, you know, so I could just skate.
Wow.
I know.
That's hardcore, though.
I mean, yeah, I just loved skateboarding. I just didn't want to care about,
Yeah.
you know, how aggressive the dudes at the park were towards that. But anyway, skating with headphones, faux pas, but that's why it was happening. And he was like, "What are you listening to?" And I like gave him a headphone to listen to it. And he was like, "I just thought that was so intimate that you gave me your headphone." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Really? I just was trying to explain to you what I was
Yeah,
listening
right. You knew
to."
what you were doing.
And you're like, drop in quick, hold my hand.
Oh man.
But what were you listening to?
Oh, oh my gosh. It was Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero. So super cheesy, which is why he had to
also
listen to it.
appropriate.
I know. This, you can
You're
say
just
it.
jealous you don't have a big love story
you
like
can
that,
say
that's
it.
all.
You can say it.
I got love stories. You don't know me.
I do know you.
But it's like this beautiful marriage that we have because, you know, one day I come home from a month in Australia and he surprises me with a mini ramp in the yard. So it's just, you know,
That's
he's the
sick.
best and we skate together. And I taught him slappies the other day. So
No way.
I did.
Front side or backside?
Well, I taught him front side because I can't really do backside.
Yeah,
and
same.
then he, like, 5 seconds later does a backside and then he does it switch and then he does a blunt slide. And then I just was like, yeah, that's great, Alec. But I still taught you the first one. So, yeah.
What did
good
he
times.
do? Oh, so we had a during COVID, we had a best trick event here where everyone got, was it an hour on the ramp or a half hour on the ramp?
It was an hour on the ramp.
So you get
a
it.
trick.
You get an hour with a filmer. That was our way to keep everyone apart. And you came in, did cab stalefish.
Cab stalefish, yep.
Did Alec do a fast plant Andrecht?
He did. He did a
Dude,
fast plant.
Fast
Andrew.
plant Andrecht. How sick is that?
It makes no sense.
I think he grabbed the nose too, though. So which
Kind of
makes
a
it-
little the old school backside grab, which
Makes
is
sense.
kind of the side. But
How
I
you doing,
remember
Andrew grabbing the nose.
we were trying to figure out
He
who to
does.
invite, and I was just skating with them, and we're trying to figure out invite, and then he tried that. I was like, "You're invited
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that,"
Yeah, that's sweet.
and he did it.
Yeah, he'll skate a handrail or a manual pad or a vert ramp. He could just.
He's the unicorn.
just does it
he,
all.
he works for the skate park project, and he's the unicorn because he can go to a park, and then he's the best skater there. They can go to a park on behalf of the foundation to talk about what we do and be an advocate, and then drop in and destroy everyone.
Those blunt slide and ollie flip. Why not? In
Yeah.
the rain.
Yeah,
But-
it's so sick.
Yeah, he's.
Why didn't you bring him? No, I'm just kidding.
I should have. Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll have him on another time.
I think he's pretty busy getting skate parks built all over the country.
He is.
Thanks to your nonprofit.
He is. I just kiss babies and shake hands. And he does all the hard work. We worked on a project for this little town in Mexico, north of Oaxaca, that he helped design. That I just looked at yesterday. It's such a great design.
Yeah, he loves doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
He loves designing parks
I
as
have
well.
another one for him in the works.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to be really excited about that.
Those are extracurricular activities, though.
That's awesome.
It's
But
so
yeah,
great.
he's the best, and he even was able to be the Polish park skateboarding coach at the Olympics.
Oh yeah. So talk about that. About your involvement with Poland.
Well, I got to skate in the Tokyo Olympics as Team Poland. There are a lot of really talented skaters in Poland, but the qualifying process is grueling, kind of regardless where you're from, what country you're representing. But yeah, it was a trip to be able to do that and skate at the COVID games. I mean, you went. It was like a sci-fi episode
very
or
strange.
something. It was a bizarre
Yeah.
situation, but to be a part of the first one was also bizarre. It doesn't even feel like real life. Like I'm
But,
not even sure if
so-
it happened.
Did Poland fund all of your travel and training and everything like that?
Yes, I did get a lot of support from Poland, which was super helpful because
You were the only skater from Poland.
there were others that tried,
Okay.
and mostly in
I mean,
street.
you're the only
not in
skater
park.
that made it to Tokyo.
Yeah, I'm the only skater that
Right.
made it to Tokyo from Poland, which was cool because then they were like, well, who do you want as your coach? And I'm like, Alec is my coach.
That's
so,
sick.
even though
He didn't have to have a passport or anything?
a Polish passport, no. Actually, we actually asked, we're like, well, could he be on Team Poland? Like as a skater? Because that would be awesome. But apparently you do need to live there for 5 years, pass a language test, like be an
okay.
actual citizen. So you can't even just like marry into it. But he got to come as the coach, which means he also got to skate the Olympic course in Tokyo. And that one was really
That's the
fun.
golden ticket.
That was a fun course.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
The ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exhausting though.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was so spread out.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
get from point A to point B, it's like, oh, I gotta pump over this. I better hit this hip too to keep my speed up. And by the time you got there, you're like, man, I just did like 4 pumps to get over here.
Yeah.
And it was like 110 degrees.
Yeah, it was so hot. We had
Yeah.
to wear like ice vests, and
Yeah.
like our contest was at like 9 a.m, and we finally found an ice vest the contest day, and it was melted like before the contest even started. Fully
harsh.
melted. It was so wild.
So are you still doing stuff for Poland, like as an ambassador?
Not really. My parents live there again, and my whole family lives out there. So I'll go out there and
Oh, they moved
skate
back?
when I can.
When?
Yeah, they moved back a couple of years ago. My parents are so impressive. They just built a house from scratch, like in the woods, like raised the land, chopped the trees, and
Oh my God.
in their mid-60s, just built a house, which is pretty
that's
pretty
hardcore.
badass. So they live there now. So when I visit, I'll skate, or I stay in touch with the Polish Skate Federation. But they have some skaters who are doing really well, like Weronika Choromańska. She's been absolutely ripping. She rides for Etnies now. Hoping she comes out to exposure, but yeah, there's definitely some good skaters out there.
Cool. We did a demo in Krakow, maybe like 10 years ago, and it was wild. It was like city center, put a vert ramp up.
That's awesome.
Jaws was doing vert demos.
Sick.
Yeah.
But I skated a concrete park that was, it was outside of Krakow. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Did it have pool coping or no?
It had a big quarter pipe,
Okay.
like that was just sort of rogue quarter pipe at the end, and it was all tagged up.
Yeah, I know. And
You know that park?
go through the street course to like get to the big
Yes.
quarter pipe. Yeah.
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 What park is that?
It's I don't know if there's like a name to it, but I went to that one as well. It's
What city
in
is it?
Kraków. It's still Kraków.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, you hear that?
Yeah, she sounded Polish that time.
But they're building a lot more out there, which is really cool. So now to see there being more support in Poland has been just exciting to watch. Like there's a whole development program. There's so many young skaters who are getting support to travel to all these different Olympic qualifiers.
So cool.
Yeah, it's been super cool to just watch that progression.
Do you think
because
you'd ever move back there?
No.
No.
I really like Southern California.
Yeah.
There used to be a vert ramp in Kraków, and now there's not. So
You grew up skating at was it Rexplex?
I went. Yeah, I when I lived in New Jersey, it was Rexplex. Then I moved to Maine, and it was Rye Airfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Rexplex was the first ramp I ever dropped in on. I broke my ankle and had to get surgery, but I still wanted to skate vert.
First time you tried to drop in, you broke your ankle.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't even
Lean
know.
back.
It's like you have to. Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like that happens on mini ramps, but on vert, it doesn't really give you much opportunity.
I can't even.
I mean,
explain.
anything's possible,
Yeah,
man.
sure, anything's possible, but that seems
If
like
you lean back on vert, it's definitely got more of a chance of breaking.
or a wow,
Chicken
Well,
neck.
chicken neck.
I did so many, like, I was so scared of heights, but I just was so obsessed with vert, like watching videos of you skating it and like seeing you at the X Games and stuff. And I really just wanted to skate it. It looked so fun, but I was terrified. And then by the time I finally tried to drop into it, I would just fall straight to flat, you know?
Ugh.
So then I think I just corrected way too far in the other direction
Yeah.
and just like sat on my ankle just snapped it.
Do you remember the first time you dropped in?
It was different for me because it was all pools.
So you went in the roll in?
So I rolled in.
But eventually you would have done a tail
but I'll
drop,
explain.
right?
It's my journey is completely different than most because there was this bowl. It was the brown tile bowl at Oasis, and it was basically a pool like this. And then as it got to the entrance, it actually folded up like that.
So you work your way up.
And so I just kept rolling in at a different coping block.
You mean roll
roll in.
roll your board over to it and kick in that way?
Roll in, yeah.
Man, do you do that?
Roll-ins?
Yeah.
I hate roll-ins.
Yeah, but it was just in those days, it's hard for people to understand. Even you're of that generation, kind of. But
I'm from the generation where nobody did it, and I was trying to do it because I loved those guys so much, and there was no bowl. I was just trying to roll in on vert, and people were like, "Dude, you're gonna fucking kill yourself." And I'm like, "Yeah," but I remember like,
but that's how we would get speed. We would roll on the outside of the bowl and then roll in.
I feel like that's a
and so what I did was
trick.
Every time I'd go
to catch the tranny the right way,
like to get speed
yeah,
from that.
Yeah.
But in a bowl setting, it's not that you're bottom dropping.
You're just going into a
'Cause
carve,
you're
right?
going
But
into
it's
a
also
carve,
because you would do it. Like if you're saying, because now it makes sense. If he was doing that before he tail dropped, then yeah, you're real good at doing
tail
that.
drops were not even considered.
No one did it.
No, that was an elevator drop, and that was a trick in itself.
Okay.
But what I was telling you is, so in this bowl, the actual entrance would just sort of came up into a gradual waterfall, right?
Okay.
So if you were to just start here, you're starting on tile that's facing upwards.
Oh wow.
Do you know what I mean? Because the bowl goes like this, and then it just went like this.
And it's still at tile.
It's still a tile all the way around. And so what I would do is I would mark which coping block I rolled in at.
Yeah.
And then I would go to the next one.
Whoa.
And then go to the next one until I was finally in the deep end.
So by the time
And
you
then-
did the elevator drop, you had already.
Elevator drops. No one did that. That's what I'm saying. Everyone axle dropped.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Axle drops?
Everyone. That's
was-
why, I mean, if you
Whoa.
watch, like even McGill sometimes will snap into his old self and put his trucks down.
Yeah.
And scoot his back truck out. That's how you dropped in.
Yeah.
And that was because everyone used to roll in. So that was the closest thing to a roll in.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
getting
okay.
your axles there and
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
turning in. Doing this from here seemed like you were going off a diving board.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Especially you had that thing on your tail, right? The little...
Yeah, but
No?
that was just part of life. Like a tail block.
Yeah.
You know what it's called?
I'm sorry.
You're
I don't.
adorable.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that everyone that learned to drop in those days
Yeah.
would axle drop.
Wow.
And half of the people would hang up.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
you know
so
that
wild.
my era, there were like some guys that were older than me, and they would slap their truck on the coping.
Yeah, that's how it like just
And it
pushing
would-
your tail out.
Yeah, but that would, because they were older, we'd be like, oh, because it wasn't a fast way to go in. Tail drop was faster. But I remember thinking, to me, because I was the guy that started on the bottom, and I'd go, and somebody would smack their trucks on the coping, and I'd be like, oh, sorry. And then I'd move out of the way, and they'd go. When I got good enough to be like, I'm going to try and drop in, it made more sense to me to axle drop in, because I was like, yeah, like you said, like tail just falling in seems like
Right.
you're just
You can
going to
get
fall to
you
the
can get your
flat.
front
Yeah.
wheels down faster
Yeah.
from an axle drop.
Dude, the first time I tried to drop in was an axle drop. I'll never forget it because it was the first time I knocked the wind out of myself. And I had never seen anybody knock the wind out of themselves. So when I started making that noise, I thought I was dying.
Oh no.
Because
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
went kaboo, and I was like, "Ah!"
shoot.
And I'm like, what is that sound? I'm
Yeah.
not making that sound. It's just coming out, and that made me not. I didn't not go for another axle drop. I did not tail drop. I was like, okay, that's above your level. And then another ramp. Somebody had a piece of wood with rope on it, and they like dropped it down the ramp. So you could run up to it and put your tail on the piece of wood and tail drop like it was a mini ramp. Because when I was a kid, they didn't have a mini ramp. Like there was no such thing.
Oh, so you work your way up.
Yeah. Well, once it got to the vert, like it was
do
so
it.
hard to get on the piece of wood.
Yeah.
So there was like mini ramp level, and then you dropped in. But the kick in seemed like it made more sense, but I was wrong.
Wait, so when you're doing like the roll-ins and the axle drops, if there's like a contest and there's like a crazy snake session,
Yeah.
How does that work? Is it a lot harder to kind of?
Yeah, I mean it's cumbersome. You got to stick your truck, and what you do is you put your board down, and if someone else puts their board down, whoever's scooting their back truck quicker, they're the ones that go in.
Right.
But also,
Oh, no.
it was chaos. Like most
Yeah.
people would just go.
Right.
And
It'd be
good luck, everyone.
Yeah.
It'd be more you snaked.
I'm dropping in. Good luck,
when
everyone
you were
else.
in it.
Yeah, but if you were trying to roll in, you just had to eye your way in, like
Right.
you would say. It's like when bikes are on the vert and they go put their bike on their foot on the
Yeah.
pedal, and you know that they're ready to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're letting them go. Like in a
Yeah.
snake
Well, yeah, but that
session.
was. I mean, at some point you kind of had to let it go too. But
I feel like when vert ramps were the thing of skateboarding and people were starting to tail drop only, that was like, I think I was a part of the first era of
bullies.
where it was where there because skateboarding was still in its heyday where there was like 40 guys on the vert ramp
Yeah.
and the
Right.
vert ramp's 20 foot wide, so it was like every time someone fell, everybody's tail went over, and like the maniacs of the course, or the bigger guys, or the guys that were better, that was the other thing. Like if you were good, you kind of felt like you'd go and everyone else would kind of get out.
Yeah.
Like in Australia, to me, the snake sessions that we had were
Life or death.
were more brutal than the American
they were
ones.
life or death, yeah.
Because we were just like angry little kids. Like we were still from the era of we didn't have a good childhood. That's why we were
yeah.
on the vert ramp and we were cool with it. So there was a lot of bogans where we would, people cussing each other and pushing each other in the air and stuff. It was, to me, when I came here, there was only like 3 guys that rivaled me. Like everybody, I would drop in and be like, I do not care. Like, and people were like, whoa, he doesn't care. And they get out of the way. But then there was Lance Mountain was the first person where I did an air and I look and he's doing a frontside grind looking at me and I'm like, oh, you bastard. Like he's not even.
He just has the skills.
He's just
to do
waiting
it.
for. He's like going near me, so I jump off. Like he'll do a grind and be like, "Oh, you're gonna land on me? Maybe you should get out of the way." And I'm like, "Ah!" And then he'd be like, "Meh," and keep going. And then there was Remy Stratton, and never forget this, that weird L-shaped vision bowl before it was a vision bowl. I drop in frontside grind and I look over the other side and he's in the frontside grind looking over at me and we got eye contact and I was like, oh, you bastard. Like, or then there was another
He
guy.
would never back down.
Yeah, we would just stay on and hit each other. Then there was the other person. This is the one where I would definitely try to take you out. You do a rock to fakie and you look at me and I'm like, oh, I'll ram you. Like you're going to do a rock to fakie.
And now you're going backwards.
Yeah, but now I know you're going to go tit-tit, tit-tit, tit-tit,
Oh,
tit-tit,
yeah.
and wait till I fall off. And I'm like, no, I'm going to ram you. I'm ramming you because that's illegal. You can't do that. Those are the and then Ben Schroeder, where if he dropped in, I was just like, I'm getting out. Because that was a different.
But
Yeah,
how did you
that's
deal
fair.
with that, like skating the combi? Combi got some
Oh,
crazy
gosh.
snake sessions.
That was really crazy.
And people would come in from the side where we're unseen.
yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah,
Like,
or
they would
like the
just drop
Steve
into the
Stedham,
square.
he like rides around it and then he just, rolls in. But
Right.
yeah,
Did you ever feel in danger?
honestly,
I know you're getting bullied in the comments, but did you actually feel in physical danger? Who
I'm-
hurt you?
No, the only time I felt in physical danger was honestly like the Olympic qualifiers. Those were like, that's
Those
like
were
skate
chaos, huh?
jousting.
Yeah.
It's like
Because
they
they were
put you
trying to
in a
get-
situation where everyone feels like their whole life
Everyone gets
depends on
15
this.
minutes.
And everyone's like, I think we were friends once, but I am going to crash into you. I don't care. You
Because
know
they're
what I mean?
legitimately
Like,
trying to get practice, and
Yeah.
there wasn't that much time for practice.
It
Yeah.
was
Right.
so crazy. It was like, there was a time where it was 1 a.m. in Rio and we had 30 minutes of practice. And I'm like, what is even happening right now?
Yeah, we heard
So-
those stories. That's insane.
Yeah, it was so wild. But combi was mellower because it's open all the time. And I was already in this like groove from living on the East Coast and just getting really heckled out there of just skating early before the crowds. So I would just try to strategically
the heckles?
avoid the the snake sessions.
What,
Yeah, it was crazy. Like when I really got into
just because
skating.
you're female.
Yeah, it was such a bummer.
Wait.
I thought at first I
Dude
thought
said-
it was like, because I wasn't as good as everyone else. And then when I had learned tricks that those guys couldn't do, they'd be like, you must be secretly a dude. I was
Wow.
like, what? I don't know. It just felt like there wasn't any.
Bring them in here. We will.
Yeah.
No,
scold
I
them.
mean, it's
yeah,
all
you
good.
beat him up, Tony.
Like,
You got it.
You got it.
I mean, it's not all good, but you know, it was a journey, and now skateboarding is a lot more inclusive and
That's
supportive.
So weird.
But
I never
yeah, it
heard
was-
that
it
because
was-
I was hanging out with the dickheads. I never heard a dickhead say something to a girl that was disrespectful. Like if anything, you know, I remember Carabeth and all the. I remember I got drunk one night and my friend wrote on my grip tape, "I love Laurie Rigsby from me, from the nose to the tail," and I did think Laurie Rigsby was hot. And we were in a qualifying thing together, and I remember
heard the
being
story,
so
sorry.
embarrassed that my board said that, and she was on
He's
the deck.
skating with her.
Yeah, at one point, I look at her, and she's looking at my board, reading it, and I'm like, "Huh." Like I didn't even say anything to her. I was just like, "I'm so sorry." Like I just feel bad, but not one time did I be like, "Chicks on the rant." Am I right? Like I never. And I'm like a dumb. I'm from the group of dumb. You know what I mean? Like, ugh, like all my friends were like, ugh, beer. You know what I mean? Like, just the dumbest of the dumb. I never heard anybody say,
Yeah.
like they shouldn't be here or anything. That was just like a weird. I was like, who? I don't care. I think that's the thing that separated me because I am a Neanderthal. Like it's like you'd think I'd be a Trump supporter, but I'm not. I just was like, everybody's cool, man. Like I don't really understand the beef with your. Like if you had a bad style, that was different. Then I'd come for you for sure.
well, I did, so that's probably.
I'd come for you.
Yeah, I gotta say something. I'm like, you seriously? Did you still mute her between the leg? Like, dude, don't talk to me.
No, she's got good style.
No,
Yeah, I
look, you don't
didn't-
have to
yeah.
lie. It's fine.
Wait, what?
I've
Are you
seen-
trying to say you got a bad
Hold on.
style?
Calf's
You
tail
don't-
fish is not to be trifled with.
I can't do
That's all
it.
I'm saying. That is a style in and of itself.
Yeah, I don't think you have a bad style.
I'm down, yeah.
Oh, well,
You
it's
think you
okay.
have a bad style?
I've seen my own skate footage. I know what it looks
Wait,
like.
you think you have a bad style?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Look,
No,
it's
not
okay.
It's
We can
not
talk
okay.
about it.
You don't have a bad style. If anybody would know, and he wouldn't be him, I would know. You're better than me, but my style's better than yours, and this is just the facts of life. Deal with it.
You do have a mean Smith grind.
The meanest.
The salads, though.
Let's
love
talk
that.
about me for
I
a little bit
love
more.
that.
Seriously, how good am I? Okay, let's
Quite
move
good.
on. You don't have a bad style, and that's coming from one of the style kings.
I'm gonna
wow.
practice salad grinds in secret. And next time you skate the ramp, be like, "What's up, Jason?"
Dude,
Oh, mid salad grind.
Just mid salad grind.
Yeah.
just please make my life complete. You already kind of have, dude. I have a photo of him trying to do a salad.
Oh, yeah.
Next to me on the spine
On the
of the
spine,
gym.
yeah. I could not because I kept thinking that he was gonna be right there. So I
Oh,
just
wait,
could
on
not commit
the-
to it. We were
the-
trying
On
to
either
do
side.
we were trying to do
Spines.
cross salads on the spine.
Cool.
And I
No.
could not get it together.
I just thought it was crazy where it was like, what do you want to do next? I'm like, we've already done mirrored hand plans. My life is complete.
Everything's gravy.
And he's like, what about double salad grinds? I was like, who do you think you are? Because that's one that you
We
put up.
can
But I
compare-
also thought, you know him, like, can he do it? Of course he can do it.
It's not great,
Yeah.
but I'll do it.
But boy, do I want to just be a part of.
What would be the angle of the photo for that? I
I've
feel like
got
that's
it.
so hard. You
We've
do
got it.
have it.
Yeah.
No, I have it. You can tell I'm bailing, but I have it.
But there is a photo.
Cool. Yeah.
Where I'm doing like a, I mean, obviously superior salad grind.
Dude, I love a good salad grind. It just shows so
And
much
then this
control.
janky bastard's behind
It's
me.
so
like,
good.
Whose salad grind did you aspire to?
Oh, Ben Schroeder. Mine came from him. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I know dressing, yeah, but it's not a mini ramp, dude. Come on.
Justin. Neil Hendricks had a mean one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Probably to fakey or
Schroeder's
fakey
was
to fakey.
insane. It was he is insane, and he's gigantic, and the power and the way he locked it in. That was the one where I was like, but I took it to like his style is not as good as mine. I took it to like mine is like Hasoi Miller salad grind. Like it's just another level.
Wow.
I know
At this point-
we started this whole podcast about him being wasted and that time in Vegas. There was another time in Vegas where we were drinking profusely, and he decided to get a tattoo on his hip.
Yeah, it says awesome on my
That
ass.
says no. I thought it said sweet.
No, awesome.
Okay, but
Yeah.
no, but so that you could see it when he does a salad grind.
Yeah, because
It was in the right
Yeah.
exact position.
so because when I'm going like
that-
this,
Wait,
Awesome.
but you have to be pantsless doing a salad?
No, it was.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
mean-
thought it was like right here, right?
yeah, it's still
So
Yeah,
yeah,
like
tramp
you can-
stamp.
it's
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm fucking awesome at that trick.
That's no, we're talking about tricks and,
Breanna's
and tattoos.
I don't
and-
know you. Yeah, this is your friend. Yeah, I'm that guy. Okay, now I get it. It's stupid, but at the time, I was correct.
Oh, it was
The
hilarious.
sickest frontside grind ever done is mine, and it's awesome. The way I come in as well, like this hand, like get out
But
of here, dude. Everybody
got,
get
It
the
is
fuck
good,
out.
though.
both got tattoos that night. I
Yeah.
got this hawk. Oh, right. Oh my. So I got this hawk head, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
Sick.
Big Island fixed it, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna have that so that when I skate, that's my back foot, and I wear low socks, and you'll always see it. And he's like, I need something for a salad grind. So when I do salad grinds, you see it. And he's like, my salad grinds are awesome. I'm gonna get awesome right here. And we're just like, these are the sickest ideas ever. And we both did it.
Wait, do you have a photo of the salad grind with the awesome showing?
Nope, but it's about to happen.
Come on.
Yeah,
How
no,
long
one
has it
today.
been? When did
You're
you
right.
get this tattoo?
That was like 20 years ago.
Dude,
No,
you
that was
this
for
has to happen.
that was for
A birthday?
no, that was for Carrie Hart's tattoo shop opening.
Oh wow, yeah. Was that when Chuck Liddell punched me?
Yep.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, it was.
It was before anybody
We
knew.
recorded, and we had the audacity to record a Sirius XM show.
Yeah, oof.
From his tattoo shop
Yeah.
after many drinks.
So
Wait,
yeah,
while being tattooed on the ass with
disaster.
awesome?
It was just a disaster.
but it was worth it because it's funny. So
Okay.
I get there way too early, and I've been let out of prison. Like I was married and I wasn't allowed to do stuff, and I was in
Wait, you
Vegas.
were literally let out of prison?
No,
No.
like married in prison.
his,
I was with somebody
his
that knew.
marriage
I
was
was
a
with
prison,
somebody,
according to
bless
him.
her heart. She knew you can't let the cat out of the bag, and I was out, and I was in Vegas, and I got there early, and no one was there, and I was like, the bar, and then I went to the bar by myself, and I was like, Long Island iced teas are really tasty. They've got like a lot of stuff in them, and they're fun. And I got them in the big bowl because you can get a big bowl of it. And I was like, because I can't, I'm still a bit more Australian back then. I was like, look, they got a bowl. They give you a bowl. There's
Was it
all
like
these like
smoke
things hanging out. And they
too?
put
Like-
like umbrellas and little monkeys and stuff. And I was like, this is
it's
awesome.
every liquor.
That's amazing.
So I drank several giant bowls of that. So by the time I showed up at the tattoo shop, I'm not home. And then we're all talking tattoos, and I see Chuck Liddell, and I go, Chuck Liddell, and nobody knows who it is because this is before the UFC was what it was.
Okay.
But I was already a UFC fan. I was like, Chuck Liddell, and because Chuck Liddell was not famous to the world, he thought it was cool that I knew who he was. So he comes into the shop, and I'm like, Chuck, you got to punch me. And he's like, seriously, dude? And I go, look, guys, tell Chuck Liddell that if you punch me, I will not sue because I'm a maniac. Carrie, Tony, and they're like, yeah, he's pretty stupid. Like, he doesn't care. So Chuck Liddell punches me in the arm, and I'm like, come on, pussy, because I've had several of these giant bowls of alcohol. And he's like, okay, did you just call me a pussy?
Yeah. I
And then he
remember
stretched-
seeing him go dark. I was like, oh.
he stretched his arm, and it's only in the arm, it's not in the face, but he cracked me like really hard.
It knocked you down.
Yeah, I had an egg on the
Punch
side of
in
my
the arm knocked him down like sideways.
Yeah, I went flying.
Yeah.
So then I get up and I'm still drunk and I'm calling Carrie Hard a backflip bitch because I believe.
Wait. Can I interject?
Sure.
Because we're doing these tattoos. It's his his tattoo shop.
It's Carrie's tattoo shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so by that time,
But you're also doing a radio show.
Yeah.
We're kind of that was starting to go south. I think we're kind of wrapping it up.
That was my fault. It was going south.
Yeah,
all
because
my-
it was already like we can't even make sense. So I think we ended it.
Okay.
I was putting cigarettes out on my arm.
Yeah, and so I got this kind of early on that night. Kevin Staub got the hot clothing logo right here in pink. He still has it. He got awesome, and then
I start calling Carrie a backflip bitch because I believe that in skateboarding, if you invented a trick, it's because you roll away from it. And you all know that in motocross, that doesn't. You can do it. You can like half.
he was
shit
the
it.
first one to flip a bike.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when he landed, he bounced off.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
he did, and it was the gnarliest backflip because it was a dirt kicker. It was insane. He went straight up and down. Like I've never seen anyone do one like that. Like it was, and back then it was like, he is going to die. Like this was life and death. And he went like, rah, like flying. It was a charging moment for Moto. But I'm an asshole and I'm his friend. And yeah, he did fall
he's
off after
blackout
he
drunk.
landed. So I'm like, you're a backflip bitch. And he was like, dude, say that again. I'll tattoo it on you. And I was like, backflip bitch. So he tattoos it on me. I'm already gone. I'm blacked out. I'm in another dimension.
No, we all helped. We all helped.
Yo,
Backflip
you helped to
bitch.
tattoo
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
I didn't.
wow.
Bitch in pink.
I didn't know this. I just found that. I didn't
Jesse.
know,
just
Jesse
recently
too.
you found that?
I didn't know that any of
Yeah.
you did that.
Is it gone? Is it
It
gone?
might
or
be my
something?
first
No,
tattoo.
look, there's a little bit of it still there. Backflip. See the little bit of pink? That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
So I go out and I guess Carrie.
So Tony did that. The pink.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. Nice.
Carrie
nice.
tells me that I'm holding a drink and it falls out of my hand and shatters on the ground. And my hand is still there like it's holding a drink. And Carrie's like, all right, you're done. And he escorts me back to my room because I don't know where my room is. I don't know where I'm staying. He goes, all right, dude, you're done. I go, ugh, whatever. I don't know anything. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, where am I? Like, what is happening? And I'm like, man, I need to go to the bathroom. I go to take a piss.
Oh no, not the story.
And I'm like, my arm
Yeah.
my arm hurts, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I'm like, wait, why do I have backflip bitch? Like I don't know about Carrie. I don't get the joke. I don't know where like all these other things happened. But I guess also I was holding a beer that night, and a dared a girl, she kicked me in the crotch. And I wouldn't spill my beer. Mm-hmm. And I had this plan. I remember because if I had baggy pants, if I tightened my legs out, it would block the area. But her toe was hitting me in the booty. And when I was like, who put that on there? And I was like, why does my butthole hurt? And I was like, oh no.
Steel toed.
I was like, she had like a pointy shoe. And it was
And
penetrating.
He didn't learn his lesson.
No.
No.
I didn't.
No, that wasn't your rock
Oh, yeah,
bottom.
no.
You didn't wake up and go, "Oh my god, I got to change my life."
But
it
I-
was
I-
more like, "Whoa, these interesting things happened last night."
I called. No, they were
How
very funny.
fascinating.
I'm going to turn it into a
Pretty good
stand-up
for the
joke. It's going to
podcast.
pay off in the long run. I called Carrie at like 3 a.m. I go, dude, my butthole hurts. What's going on? He was like, calm down. You dared a girl to kick you. It's probably where it landed. And I tattooed you because you kept calling me that. And Chuck Liddell punched you in the arm. And I was like, thank God, that was a close one. Yeah, so that's why I kept drinking.
Yeah, his blackout research was always an exciting time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's served the podcast well. But
Yeah.
happy that you're
Yeah.
your best
Do you have any
self
of those
now.
similar stories, Amelia, for us?
You know, maybe not quite on that level. I don't think
Look,
you can compete with
somebody had to do the research and development so that you
Fair.
can learn to not do it. You know, look,
Right.
take it from me, kids.
You
Don't
got kicked in the crotch so we could fly.
drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you do, just have a couple and then call it a day because there's better things out there in life than that.
Than
It
waking
can-
up like that.
Yeah, okay,
Almost anything's better than waking up like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty. I was scared. If it wasn't for all the other terrible things, that probably would have done something to me.
Okay, anyway. So, Amelia,
Sorry.
what's next?
What is next?
Yeah.
Gosh, I just want to finish with the exposure event and get back to skating more. I feel like it's been a tough year with skating for me, past couple years, but there's nothing that I love as much as actually going to skate.
Because of the injuries or because of your time?
Both. I've had like some really weird, like concussion related injuries that cause like a recurring vertigo.
Oh,
That's
no.
been a huge bummer.
Yeah,
but
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Missy went through that.
It's
Missy had vertigo.
It's been on and off for a couple years, and right now it's on. Like I skated the other day, and then I drove home, and everything was spinning, and I was like, "Oh no, it's back." So,
Do you have someone that does that movement for you?
apparently, it's not my crystals; it's like my neck from like chicken neck whiplash
wow.
kind of situations. But yeah, I just want to skate. I just want to skate a lot of vert.
That's the spirit.
That's all I can
Yes.
say.
Let's hear it.
Have you tried drinking? No.
I don't think that would help the vertigo, but maybe it'll
Yeah, I was
equal
like,
it
wait,
out.
As far as I can tell, it doesn't help anything.
Yeah, water though, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Drink water, skate vert.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
our
good.
life advice, everyone. Wait, okay. Exposure is this. Okay, I know there's a weird timeline because we're recording this.
Yeah.
But it's this Saturday.
This
If
Saturday
you're watching
and
this
Sunday.
right now, as we release it,
It's both
this
days.
Saturday
Tony.
and Sunday. This Saturday and Sunday. Exposure.
Watch it live.
And
If you're
Sirius
not in
Community
Southern
Park.
California and you can't drive down here, which you should because it's going to be awesome, you can watch it on X Games YouTube channel on November 3rd, Sunday.
Yeah, but come watch it live.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Because the girls rip. And we're celebrating Amelia for putting it on.
Thank
So
you
thanks,
guys for
Amelia,
having me.
for coming.
Really appreciate
Tell your
it.
husband hello. Tell him to come skate with us. Do salad grinds.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will. Thank you guys for the kind words, for having me, and for
course.
all the great stories.
Yeah, sorry.
We aim to please. We aim to embarrass each other and please our guests.
Like and describe.